I know you feel this.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the inaugural podcast. Something that's been on the works for quite a long time. I wanted to do it for a long time anyway. Just another podcast out there for you guys not to listen to.
Yeah, just add it to the list.
Anyway, I think a little introduction is due. My name's Jason Rose.
I'm the sidekick co-host, Donovan Oziak.
And we are probably going to be calling this podcast Grizzled Veterans because we are old as fuck.
Yeah, we got white whiskers now.
Yeah, I do.
Closing in on 30 years of gaming. So we got lots of history for you guys. We got opinions that span systems from the past 30 years. So at least then you know we know what we're talking about.
Lots of useless shit to talk about.
For sure.
But the name might change in the near future. It's not a mainstay. I don't know. You'd think when people are making a podcast up, they come up with a name first, right?
Well, I mean, we tried to come up with something.
I don't know. So, Grizzled Veterans is where we're going to start. We are from a small place. Actually, we're from Silent Hill.
Yes.
Aren't we?
Silent Hill. No shit. Really,
we were born and raised in the city where they shot the Silent Hill movie.
Brantford, Ontario.
Our downtown is Silent Hill.
Well, it was. Now that they've taken...
Oh, they've revamped it a bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they tore everything down that was used in the Silent Hill movie. And but to be sure, when they were filming that, it was pretty neat to be walking around in that environment, especially being fans of the game.
Yep, definitely. So I guess we'll just start with a little introduction. You know, be easy on us. There might be some awkward silences. This is our first go at it.
Yeah.
We'll get better. Talking to the mic a bit. Then we'll just get in some banter. I'm just going to go ahead, a little history with me. I'm 32 years old, believe it or not. I don't know if you follow me on...
He looks 42, but he's only 32.
Okay. Anyway, 32 years old. I am a real estate agent in Brantford. I've been doing that for almost 9 years now. Make a tidy living. Scratch out a meager living, I suppose. On to gamings. As far as that, I've been gaming probably 26 years now. Very first system I owned, my parents bought me a Sega Master System. Yeah, I was one of those guys.
Yep.
I didn't even know, well, I knew what Nintendo was, but I got a Sega. My first games, Choplifter, Gangster Town with the phaser gun.
But see, and a lot of people in our age group might, be able to recognize this. Like he's the one kid that had the Sega Master System. The rest of us all had Nintendos. Yeah. So it was like, oh, we gotta go down to Jason's place, man. He's got like Zillion and Phantasy Star.
Good games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, Phantasy Star, like when it was still Phantasy Star, not this PSO stuff.
And funny that you would bring that up because like I just heard that they're bringing Phantasy Star Online 2
to
the
Vita.
And I gotta say I'm a little jealous because I miss PSO and I'd like to have a new PSO game to play on next gen systems. I had a lot of fun playing it back on the Dreamcast.
I just refuse to get into it. It's not Phantasy Star to me.
Well,
I don't...
I see. In the end, what I would prefer is Phantasy Star 5.
Yeah, for sure. Like Phantasy Star 4 is still one of the best RPGs of all time.
But whether or not we'll ever see that is a pipe dream, I suppose.
Yeah, you want to know what's wrong with JRPGs? They don't make Phantasy Star properly anymore. No. That's a start.
Well, the fact that they've pretty much turned Final Fantasy into Phantasy Star in a lot of ways. I mean...
Well, Final Fantasy had its own shit. It's just Sega. That was Sega's Final Fantasy. Or Dragon Warrior, however you want to do it. But Dragon Warrior is more of a Japanese.
Absolutely. It was their direct response to that. And it's just unfortunate that they haven't managed to give us something fresh with that.
Yeah.
So
I guess we'll save the Phantasy Star for another.
Yeah.
That could be probably a whole entire podcast by itself. We'll definitely do it.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Fantasy Star. We'll have like two listens on that one.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway, Sega. I was a Sega guy growing up. Choplifter, Gangster Town. I was an early adopter of the phaser gun. Kept those peripherals going. from there, I don't know. It just kept going. I guess after that was even the Genesis. I didn't get an NES, believe it or not, until the Genesis came out.
Oh, you skipped. Oh, did you have an NES?
I bought one, like, for cheap, back because we, in summer, well, that's how I met you, actually. Back in the Genesis days would be what it is.
Well, because I can remember going to get my Genesis at Toys R Us in Hamilton, and I took my buddy Tony with me because he was native, and he got me no tax on it.
See, yeah, another key thing about our home city, we live right near a reserve.
Yeah,
always have native friends and tax
So
cards.
props out to Tony for, there's a little prop out to Tony for helping me get my first Sega Genesis.
Why don't you tell the listeners?
All right, yeah, my roots. Well, you've already heard me mention 30 years of gaming. Yeah, I'm 37 years old, so I started way back on Atari 2600. And I can totally remember the day going out to get it. My parents made me finish my dinner that night, like good parents should. And unfortunately, it wasn't a dinner I enjoyed. But we got the Atari that night, and well, it came with, of course, at the time, it came with Combat and Asteroids.
Asteroids.
And
I don't know anything about Combat.
I played the crap out of Asteroids. And I can remember one day actually rolling the score on Asteroids.
Oh yeah,
I played it to the point where the score.
What was it?
actually rolled over.
9999999.
Yeah, it was like 99999, and all of a sudden it rolled back to 0, and I was like, Mom!
See, that's one thing I miss about old games. And again, this will be another podcast in terms of how it relates to shooters, because shooters were a big score type game.
Oh sure, and I mean, even
I miss score.
Yeah.
But you know, games like Super Stardust and things like that, score is a big thing.
Yeah. Well, okay, take a game like Vanquish.
Yeah, Vanquish.
Vanquish is a good example of a game where
Very slept on game.
You don't have your multiplayer competitive, but you've got your leaderboards, and that's where a completely different way for people to shine online. And I don't know, sometimes I think that's an underused or just underappreciated form of...
I suppose, but I think the lack of multiplayer in Vanquish hurt its sales.
It
sucks because, honestly, did it come out in... Was that a 2011 or 2010 game?
I believe it was the end of 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
Best shooter 2010. Easily.
Oh, I would definitely put my vote in on that one too. It was a sorely underplayed game.
And it's sad because most kids in this generation, when they think shooter, they think Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
Yeah, and I mean, like to me, the most... I don't know. The easiest comparison to make with Vanquish to me would, I guess, be Gears of War.
Yeah, it's got the over-the-shoulder third-person perspective.
But in my opinion, it plays much, much better than Gears of War.
See, I don't know much about, and this is another. We'll get to this. Donovan's more of an Xbox guy. And well, you know what? That's not exactly correct. But he definitely comes with the Xbox perspective.
Well, I'm the one in the group here that's got both of the current gen systems. Jason here has only got the PS3, which
I could have both if I want to. I just don't see need to have the Xbox, honestly.
Well, I mean, I had the Xbox first. I've got a much bigger library of games on my Xbox. See, and
like that's weird to me. Like I've always, it's weird to me because you're a longtime gamer. Mm-hmm. You were a Sega guy. Well, Nintendo too. But
I'm a big Sega guy, by the way.
We both are.
I mean, I still got my Saturn, my Dreamcast, and my Genesis lined up sitting right here next to us.
Saturn, love it.
So,
like, you had the PlayStation 1, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
My PlayStation 1 is sitting on this shelf too.
So, what made you get? Because if I remember right, you didn't get a PS2 till like later.
Oh, I got it much, much later, and a lot of it has to do with the. Well, let's face it. This is
that's weird. How does that happen?
A fairly easy way to look at it is that the PlayStation 2 sold as well as it did because the PlayStation 1 did as well as it did, and it had the reputation of the first system to go on.
Not true. Most people would probably say.
Well, and the DVD player was another selling point for the system, but I mean, there's no denying the library of games. You can't deny that the PlayStation 2 has an exceptional library of games, but it is the inferior system of that generation. The Xbox was more powerful.
Yeah, the Xbox, because it came out so much later.
Did not have the library.
No, didn't.
But also, like, again, I do believe that it was the name that helped sell the PlayStation 2. But the PlayStation 1 just was a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, it ate up the market and, in a lot of ways, rekindled it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, when the PlayStation 2 came out, there wasn't a very good launch library.
Yeah, but that goes for... I completely agree. It was abysmal. I remember my first game was NBA Street, and that was forever. I bought it, and it was like a DVD player for me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't my first DVD player like most. I bought a PC before that and got a DVD drive in that. But, yeah, it was a DVD player for the most part. I remember I played Final Fantasy. I was playing... PlayStation 1 games on my PS2 for the most part.
Yeah.
Until the games got going.
Well, I did a lot of again, like you said, I waited a very, very long time. I did go through a period where I was playing less games during the PlayStation 2 era. And I also... again,
what?
Being a Sega
you weren't
man,
playing very many games?
A Sega man, I had the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I bought the Dreamcast.
And to this day, I still say that unfortunately the Dreamcast suffered an early death. It was the superior system. It looks much better
Than what?
than the PlayStation 2.
The PlayStation 2 games started to look better, but early if you want to launch, yeah.
Oh, Final Fantasy 12, Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah, but even before that,
these games, are amazing looking.
Those
really pushed the limits of the system.
Yeah, in terms of Dreamcast, the game that probably everybody blew them away was Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur, like Code Veronica. I loaded up when the HD remake came out on PSN.
That was clunky, though.
I think the Dreamcast version looks better than the HD version.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't really remember.
But anyway, this is the part where we lost track of what we were talking about.
You just go on. Like, I don't know. Wait, you left off talking about asteroids. On your thing, and I just took it. Sorry.
Yeah. No, but... why I waited so long to get a PS2. I mean, I don't know. I was playing Xbox and was happy with it. Basically, I heard that Final Fantasy 12 was coming out, and I got pretty excited about that. The system was down to 130. I bought the system and loaded up on a ton of classics for dirt cheap. And I had a blast with my PS2 in the later years of its life, and I'm really happy to have had one at that point. But again, I went through a bit of a lull in my gaming for a while there, which
we won't talk about. That's the dark ages of Donovan's life.
Dark ages.
But anyway, in terms of us, how do we know each other?
Well, I think it was again like. We lived in the same neighborhood, but...
You were my babysitter for a few times.
Definitely.
And, but how that came about, we were frequent customers, visitors, loiterers at the humble abode of Bandito Video.
Yes.
Bandito Video was a chain of... I don't know. They were all independent back then. They were the most popular.
It was a small chain, a small local Ontario chain, as far as I know.
Really? Was it?
There were a few Bandito videos
probably
around.
Like 5,
they were very. It was a very small chain.
But everyone went there, and a nice man. Donovan knew him before I did.
Yes.
Dan Beal used to run this place, the Game Corner.
He was like an uncle. He was like you're the uncle that loved to play video games.
And nowadays, if kids did what we did back then, they'd be in jail for loitering. We just spent days and days playing video games for free.
This video store had a little corner in the side where we set up and had like our own top 10 list. We had all the games first. I can remember the day that all you Sonic fans will like this. The day that Sonic 1 came out, I drove out to this distributor with Dan. And I literally had the first copy in Brantford of Sonic the Hedgehog. So all you Sega boys out there.
On Sonic Tip, I won the competition at Bandito Video.
There you go.
I still have the trophy.
Ha.
And that's another score one. I remember I beat our buddy Paul Kiaprom.
Nice.
Beat his score to get the trophy.
Another interesting little factoid about the two of us is that we actually started a gaming magazine with Dan way back when. And
Game Gods.
Game Gods. Yes, we were the Game Gods.
And Donovan still have a copy of it. It's hilarious. I couldn't have. What was I, like 9?
Something like that.
9?
Because I was like starting high school, or was still in public school.
That's so funny. This.
All right, so we're gonna move right along here, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And then through there, I remember Donovan was babysitting. We were playing games like Sword of Vermilion. I remember that.
Sword of Vermilion.
Phantasy Star 2.
Yep.
Good games all throughout. And I don't know. We lost touch for years.
We did lose touch for a while there. I mean,
it was just life.
High school years, that kind of thing. Well, there's 5 years.
Well, you were so much older.
between us.
Basically, you're leaving high school when I came in.
Yeah. So
I played a lot of sports back then, and outside of Bandito, I guess we didn't really hang around.
No, not too much. Life happened.
And
then
went
Facebook happened.
Yeah, something I don't have anymore.
Yeah, which is I
great.
think I meant to actually
Facebook.
bring this up with you.
Hate it.
Despite Jason's hate for Facebook, if it wasn't for Facebook, we wouldn't be recording this podcast right now.
That's true.
So
now it's Twitter.
now it's Twitter.
I'll give that out
where Jason fixed my spelling mistakes.
Yeah. You think for a 37-year-old guy you have proper grammar?
Whatever.
Internet grammar Nazi.
Yeah, they need to add some spell check to Twitter. How about that?
No, but yeah, I don't know. I was like, one thing I don't know if there are ever pictures or some way down the line we do video. Domin's always got this crazy fucking hair. Like, the craziest hair. I mean, I guess you say my hair is crazy because I'm Arctic blonde.
Yeah, well...
That's just a nice way of saying gray.
Yeah.
I went gray at like 22.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I got some white in my little soul patch.
That's character.
So,
Chicks dig my hair.
I
don't care what anyone says.
No.
My girlfriend loves it.
You know what? It suits you.
And she's 10.
Yeah. I've got crazy hair. He's got silver hair. It all works out.
That's right.
Yeah, we will be sure to put up some pics of us so you know what...
if you care, whatever.
If you guys care, but...
And we'll get to our contact and gamer tags. That's what you Xbox call them, eh?
Yeah, gamer tags. Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what it used to be the PSN name.
Yeah.
Now it's Sony something name.
You know what? But you go to the PlayStation store and it's still called the PlayStation
I know.
store.
I don't even know why they switched it. They wanted to amalgamate everything together or
Whatever.
something. Yeah, we'll get all that stuff out to you guys later if you even care.
I got plenty of venom for the PlayStation Network myself. So
I'm not. That's something I should.
Yeah, another day.
I'm sure too. But yeah, and I guess it'd be 2 years now again that we met back up, and I think we've been talking about this for almost 2 years. At least I have.
Well, we definitely hit something when we rekindled our friendship here. Gears started to turn. So hopefully this will be part of the fruition of that.
And what do you do for a living?
Oh, what do I do?
Don't you run a factory or something?
I run a factory. Yeah, I wish. If only it were so good.
We got to get these boring parts out of the way.
Yeah, we're going to get the boring parts out and start talking about some games.
Fast forward like 5 minutes if you don't care. I don't know.
Really quickly, I do assembly, so I don't have nearly a glamorous job as Jason here.
And what do you assemble?
I assemble the heating and air conditioning units of your automobiles.
This is fucking fantastic. Honestly, tell me more right now.
Well,
I'm joking.
It's a wonderful thing. We're going to
anymore.
skip that because I'm sure nobody else wants to hear
And
it.
honestly, like we both, I don't mind real estate. It's great, but I mean, I'd give it up in a heartbeat. It's nothing I want to do. And we use this podcast as avenues to get our gamer voice out there.
That's right. Part of the reason we're doing this is to get away from doing things like real estate and assembly.
Yeah. So that's about it. We'll talk, unless we have some fantastic story that we just have to share. That'll be the last time we talk about
wasn't there a game that came out last week that we're both playing?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a game. One called Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
Now, neither of us has managed to get particularly far into the campaign just yet because, well, Jason here was addicted to multiplayer, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. And
I kill it multiplayer. I'm so good at it.
And I have been dealing with the whole character import glitch that's been happening for some of us that have been playing since Mass Effect 1 on the Xbox and the PC for that matter. So I know there's a lot of people out there that are really frustrated with BioWare.
Yeah, I heard PlayStation doesn't have that problem. I don't know.
I heard it's far minimal because, well,
we didn't have Mass Effect.
I'm just going to say that you Sony guys are just lucky you even got this series. So now that that's out of the way, but for those of you playing
the first one,
yeah,
PC.
For those of you guys playing Default Shepherd and not having any issues, that's fine and well. But the rest of us that are attached to our characters are having a bit of difficulty with this, and in a lot of cases, it's pulled us out of the experience. So we're really.
So you're playing it on 360. Though.
Yes, I'm playing it on 360.
I'm playing on PS3.
And I've been keeping up. BioWare put out a statement. It was 6 days ago now, so there hasn't been an update since. But apparently they're working on this. I can't see it being a small patch. This is a fairly significant thing that they've overlooked, and honestly, I really don't know how it even happened. But I mean,
So this is a big issue for you.
it is a big issue for me because
To me, I don't care. I like to play. You know what? To me, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack about this. And I know a lot of people don't share it, but I don't care. To me, Shepard is a dude, and that's how I'm gonna play him. I choose to play the game. I know.
Well-
I know you can make any Shepard you want. Your
Yeah.
Shepard is your Shepard,
and,
and,
you know
that's
what?
cool.
There's no need for anybody to be pissed off at you for having.
No,
that
but
opinion.
I'm gonna take it further. To me, the game was intended to be male default Shepard.
Well, then why?
That's the way.
Yeah, but then why would they have even issued
Made a girl?
an official femme shep?
Well, they only did that now. Like with this game, is Mass Effect 3 not where they made the official female Shepard?
no,
I mean,
the-
when you went to the female version, it would have like a thing.
Yeah.
But they would never advertise. Like every advertisement is the guy.
Yeah,
the guy.
and I'm not gonna argue about that with you.
And
but
it's cool if you want to make your own. But to me, I have no problem playing female characters. It's just that's when a game takes me in that direction. But to me, BioWare, the way the story's crafted and the way they've advertised it, to me, I want to play as the male default because that's just the way it is.
Yeah, and again, he's completely entitled to have his opinion on that. This glitch.
No,
has
I
not
actually
affected
think
you.
everybody should think that way.
Well, and well, and this is kind of how I'm kind of where my train of thought's been taking me is like, what happened at BioWare in the transition between 2 and 3? Did they say to themselves, well, 2's so good, we don't even have to think about 1 anymore? Like,
why?
this was their big.
Oh, to bring in the characters through.
Well-
But it's a daunting task, man. Like,
Yeah.
just think about the logistical problems of trying to every decision. And I'm with you though. If they're talking about continuity,
And I
that
think
even a
that's
word?
the
Continuity?
prime thing here.
continuity is that
Contin-
word?
Continuity.
Continuity. That's
There-
what I'm looking
there
for.
we go.
Thanks.
But yeah, I think that's the prime.
That would be where you start, because if you're trying to, be big on customization, especially your face,
well,
seems-
and that's what I mean.
do you think that'd be the first thing you pattern?
And I even showed you the picture today of my attempt at I've used some tools that
It's
some
like a
fans
ginger
have-
Michael Jackson.
Well, yeah, and this is the unfortunate thing. My really gorgeous femshep has been kind of transmutated into a
Ginger Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, and it,
Ginger.
now, it's funny because I've been playing about 5 hours now of this playthrough, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to now that we've come up with this whole Michael Jackson thing.
Ginger Michael Jackson.
So
Ugly.
please, BioWare, for the love of God, get this patch
Okay,
out.
like, now fill me in though, because I know on PlayStation, the only problem with importing your face is it's actually you can't even import the save if you upload it to cloud. Cloud is what have
Oh,
PS
and
Plus
there's the same
members have.
problem on Xbox.
Okay.
You've got to have your save on the...
The actual physical thing. Now you can get around it. I think you got to take it on another system, rip it off there, and then send it back to the original. But I don't care. I don't have that problem.
No.
I just use mine.
No, I did come across that too when I was doing this research, but yeah, you got to have your save on the hard drive. If it's on the cloud, then get it off the
Cool.
cloud.
So how do you feel about it? Like I know you just touched on it.
Okay.
I honestly like.
Getting past all of this import crap, the game itself looks great. The combat plays great. So far, the story seems to be on par.
Like
again-
I'm not far enough into it.
No,
to,
and I
to
got-
gauge, and I've been on. It's crazy because I read a lot of news, and sometimes I don't even care about little spoilers for games.
Well,
Like,
and I mean, like a lot of you, the listeners out there, the few of you that are catching this, whenever you catch it, the game at this point is going to be a couple weeks old, probably. A lot of you are a lot farther along than we'll be at this point, but like the environments are bigger and more detailed.
yeah, I was blown away. Like just even Mars,
Yeah.
the first level, the details, and it seems like the way they do the action, the sweeping camera, it draws you in different ways.
Well,
Whereas in Mass
the-
Effect 2, a lot of people had problems with the shooting and stuff in the Mass Effect 2, and while it wasn't the best, I loved it. Like especially on Insanity, I thought the game was played the way it was intended to play with the environments when you played it on Insanity.
And I haven't done it in a Saturday run, so
A Saturday run.
Insanity run. I'm gonna save that for when I've completed the entire series and start over again.
Ladies and gentlemen, I platinum Mass Effect 2.
Well,
I'm
round of applause.
I deserve it, man.
Yeah.
I platinum Skyrim too. That's the big one. I guess we'll get to those later.
Yeah.
The big gaming accomplishments. We'll stick to Mass Effect right now.
Well, yeah, we want to have something current for for us to wrap this thing up, but
No, but in terms of the shooting and how it's transitioned, I don't know. Like, I'm blown away by the environments, the storms, the way they incorporate the different environments for you to.
well, that was going to bring up
to
the
shoot
storm.
in, and I'm super early, but it's just crazy. Like, I think they've done an awesome job, and I was worried with the demo because when I played the single player demo, I thought the animations at the beginning were, especially when you're following Anderson, he runs funny, it looked weird, and the sound was off. But what I found to fix that, I wrote a blog about it. I'll give you the link to my blog later on, about my demo impressions. But I found the sound off. But when you go into the sound options, there's a high and a low setting for dynamic range.
Yes.
And I have a really high level sound system.
Yeah.
You've seen it. Mm-hmm. But honestly, at high, it doesn't work. The volume's too low. The sound effects don't have enough effect.
I have found that
it's just too muted.
I found that I'm having to crank the game up.
No, but turn it to low.
Yeah.
Turn it to low because it says it's for lower quality setting stereos. But I just find I get a better sound out of it. I don't know.
Is there a medium?
No, just low and high.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Low and high.
I have found with a few games lately that the volume seemed to be coming down.
I don't know. What did I play? No, Skyrim, I guess, was the last game I played with a sweeping soundtrack. Not sweeping, I guess it's more background sometimes, but big booming sound effects with the dragon stuff. I found it was pretty consistent throughout. Yeah. But I really noticed it in Mass Effect. Amalur demo was a little like that too.
Well, I found when I play Amalur, I turn up the volume.
Which is weird, and it's another EA game, so maybe it's something to do with EA.
It could just be the way they're mixing their sound.
It's just muted.
Let's just say, kids, for those of you who don't know, turning up the volume isn't a bad thing.
No. I crank that shit. Like, that's why... Oh, wow, we're going to get off topic here again. But, like, when I play games, I like to listen to the soundtrack. That's why cross chat or cross-platform chat, cross-game chat, call it on Xbox. They make it such a big issue for PS3. To me, personally, I can see why some people would want it. Everyone plays games differently. But me... I like to listen to the music in games. I don't need... You know what? If I want to talk to a fucking friend, I'll pick up the phone and talk to him. I don't need to talk to him while I'm playing a game. It's just not a big deal for me.
Well, I mean, I'll put it to you in this way. Like, our friend Tyler had a little boy recently, and I was playing Amalur the other night. Yeah. And we both decided to play Amalur instead of, like, a co-op game because, he's got a new kid that he's got to maybe run off and attend to. So, we're both playing our separate games of Amalur, and he's further ahead than I am, but we're just, comparing notes and discussing the lore of the game.
Why wouldn't you just pick the phone up?
Well, because I can't hold the phone and my controller at the same time.
Don't you have a headset?
Not for my phone.
Oh, well, you gotta get one. I mean, you can get one I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna get into the semantics of it. But to me, I don't know, if I just wanted to talk to a buddy, I would just pick up the phone.
It's the same experience. You're basically describing the exact same thing. The only difference is instead of having my phone sitting there, I've got a headset plugged into my controller.
Okay, fair enough. But it's just not a necessary thing for me anyway.
Yeah, anyway, you will soon discover, audience, that we have both strong opinions.
I got opinions.
Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to throw out here?
There's lots to talk about this game. Like, I'm early into it, and it's rare for me to just black out on something and not know anything about it. But I did this for Mass Effect 2 as well, because again, I'm on PS3 and I don't own a 360. Never wanted one. Quite frankly, I fucking hate it. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, it's a shooter platform to me, and I'll give 360 credit where credit's due. Their online is superior. They kicked the crap out of Sony this generation. They just got ahead of the curve, and I think it's a take on with GDC again, Keiji Inafune, the creator of Mega Man and other classics like that, has been talking about how Japanese games are behind the curve, and he puts it pretty plainly. But I think it's a business mentality there as well, as opposed to the North American mentality. Get out, get it done, get the hardware out there. The most powerful. I don't know really how to describe it best, but right now Japan is just lagging behind. Yeah. And it follows suit with the PlayStation 3. And I wrote another blog, which you can also read, and I'll give you the link, about what each company needs to do to maximize their potential with the new generations. And Sony can't afford to be late with the PS4.
Yeah, I mean, anybody
They can't be late, or they're dead.
Anybody that's been playing games for as long as us is going to know how passionate we are about Japanese games, or how we grew up with Japanese games.
That defined my childhood, Japanese, and it's a shame that they
seeing this market shift.
Like, I mean, this will be another one. I don't even want to get into it with you right now, but Final Fantasy 13 is shit. It's just shit. I know you like it, but you would agree it's not up to
It's certainly not my favorite in the series, but I think what I get out of a Final Fantasy game doesn't necessarily, and I hate to say this, doesn't necessarily include the story anymore.
See, and that's a shame. And I know there's been articles out there, games are a terrible story. I disagree. Like, it is what it is, but I've been caught up in a lot of sweeping stories in games.
Oh, and don't get me wrong, like, story is a very important part of gaming, especially at this point when we're talking going from...
Even in it doesn't even have to be Final Fantasy. Story has always been important to me, even if it's little. Like, for instance, Street Fighter to me would be a hell of a lot better if they had a defined storyline. Yeah. The stupid endings about Blanca eating pineapples and shit like that. That's dumb. And he's done it for, like, that's his ending for 4 fucking games. Why doesn't he just have a story that's integral? Why is Blanca there? I know the shit, he's Jimmy and he's mutated and experiment, but keep it going. Yeah. Like, just keep the story going. I know the Udon, I was going to buy that $300 comic box set. Yeah. Which was awesome, but they had a continued story, and it went almost all the way through. I think the problem with Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Well, I think the only thing you have going there is that the fact that the Street Fighter universe has been they've just injected it with so much silliness.
Yeah, but they could fix it. Like, you can retcon shit. Like, what are they doing with Devil May Cry? They're just redoing it. Well, supposedly they're redoing. It might be just a different take and incorporate Dante, the white-haired Dante, and some other thing. But
we've already seen clips of him turning into white-haired
Dante.
Yeah,
I don't know that, but that's cool. I don't know if they'll redo it, but we all know the story, okay, of Ryu, Ken, Shadow Lu, Akuma is
that's the cool side of the story. But see, Capcom has always been. They always want to throw in some of these, like, silly characters, right?
Well, I don't mind the silly characters, but give them a reason. Like Dan is a joke character, but he has his story is that Sagat killed his dad, and he wants revenge. Of course, he got the Psycho or the strongest or whatever. I mean, and he's funny. Like, what do I do when I play against you with him? I just taunt. Yeah. Like, that's his entire thing.
And that's great.
But he has a story. You could build on that. Have him evolve as a character. Like, I don't, Ryu and Sagat are eternal rivals. I don't know. Have that. They just need to build on it more.
Okay, here's what we're saying.
Story needs to be.
You need to fund us so that we can go to EVO 2012.
I'm telling you, I could write a better Street Fighter story.
We gotta go meet Yoshi, and
Yoshi Ono. He's the guy.
Yeah, you can go give Yoshi Ono some beef about the
perverted
story.
Blanca thing. And Seth Killian. Honestly, I feel like Seth Killian. We're getting way off topic from Master Chief 3 here, but that's fine. I feel like Seth Killian has a lot more to say, and like I wish he had more input on the story as well. I know he has a lot of input on the mechanics of the game. Yeah. And rightfully so. I mean, he's obviously
that's his expertise.
And he's a main thrust behind the resurgence of fighting games, which is another huge passion for both of us.
Yeah, you'll find that out. Well, you're probably finding that out right now.
Yeah, but I wish he had more in terms of the story and character input. So I think he had a lot of characters that he wanted in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 too that didn't make it. But
well, again, I think he's been with Capcom now for over 5 years.
I think it's I was listening to him on the official PlayStation blogcast recently. They had for the Street Fighter Cross Tekken release, and he was saying how he started. I guess he was like a philosophy professor. And I was taken, but they called him, I don't know, he used to run old tournaments because he was a pro gamer.
Well, yeah, he's like the king of Zangief.
Yeah. Is that what it was? See, I don't know.
He can do a one-handed Zangief.
Nice.
He can beat you with a one-handed Zangief.
Well, I think, and now the kids took it and did,
fair enough.
The standing, 720s and shit like that.
Yeah.
But whatever. And he was just saying how they called him and through a thing, because he used to run tournaments, but he would always try to talk to these guys. And then Capcom got some new guys that were in charge of the fighting division, because the old guys wouldn't give him the time of day back when he was a kid. And now they came to him and they were like, we're in the concept stage of Street Fighter 4. We want you to come work on it. and he had like a life moment and decided that he wanted to go ahead. And so Street Fighter 4, what it is now, is a lot in part to do with.
And I think a lot of Street Fighters around the world are grateful for that because.
Well, they fucking better be.
I think he's great. I like him a lot. I got mad respect for Seth
some
Killian.
hate, but only because he's the face a lot of times. Like,
well, he is the PR guy for Capcom.
Well, whether
one
it's
of them at this point, but
I don't think that's his job, but it almost is by default because he's the most visual. And I give the guy, like, he shows up at tournaments. I think he's a great commentator.
He's a good speaker. He does great commentary.
And he does comment at the Evo tournaments. I think he's great. Yeah, I mean, he commentated the biggest moment in fighting game history. Well, the most well known anyway.
Yeah.
What's that? Evo moment number 9. What, I don't know. It's in Third Strike.
Yeah.
The full parry by Daigo on Justin Wong. I mean, he commentated that. I don't know if you've never seen it, look it up. It's incredible. Even if you don't. Even
Another
know
link that we can post under the forum here.
What?
Another link we can post here.
It's on YouTube, I wrote about it at last year's Evo again. But anyway, story is integral, even to me personally. Like I'll read a lot of people like, who cares about story? Just play the game. Well, but in order for me to enjoy the game to its fullest, the story has to make somewhat sense to me. And if it's gonna be there, take full potential of it. Like make it all it can be. Like the story in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. I know it's a joke mashup game, but it shouldn't, like, there's nothing. There's no purpose of it. You have 3 screens, some stupid words, and nothing ever comes of it.
Well, I mean, I think the point I was basically trying to get to is that it's not that I don't care about story, because I certainly do enjoy a fantastically woven story in no matter what medium I'm doing this.
True.
And especially since gaming is my primary form. But what I was trying to say is that the things that I get out of a Final Fantasy game at this point have a lot to do with the collection of items and the sort of zen of grind. If anybody's watched the game Overthinker, may be familiar with this term. There's a certain happy place that we can go to when we're grinding away in a game like this.
Sure, yeah, but you're preaching to the choir with game. Like, I put 6 years into Final Fantasy 11.
Exactly. So
6 years. I made real life money from that game, and it's an MMO, and it's the only MMO I'll ever play. I'll never play another one.
But I mean, I do find that when like a new Final Fantasy game is coming, or when I get one, a lot of my focus on that game is like tracking down all the cool shit. And I mean, that's
but what did it used to be? It used to be, what's the stories? Those characters look awesome.
Yeah.
Where is it taking place? Like, that used to be the lure of Final Fantasy to me, and now I just don't have it.
And that still is a huge, don't get me wrong, that's a huge proponent as to why I still enjoy this series, but partly why I like RPGs is that whole, I've got this
they gotta get them all attitude,
load of
like
gear.
Pokemon?
Well, maybe it is that, but I never played Pokemon, so I don't put it into that kind of perspective, right? But I mean, like, for me, it's all about that. I want to get the best weapons.
Oh yeah,
and,
like I want to get the ultimate
accessories
weapons and stuff like that.
In the case of 13.2, there's lots of rare animals to collect and all that kind of stuff, and that's where there's.
How is that anyway? Like, how does that incorporate? I'm not a big fan of the battle system at all. I find it very hands off, but I'll reserve judgment. We'll do another one of these on Final Fantasy and go through it. But how do you finished it?
I finished the story. I've still got
You've almost got all the fragments.
I've got 152 out of 160, so
you're getting close.
I'm getting pretty close. A couple of them are going to take a long time to get, but I will get them. I'm going to get a platinum on this.
Nice.
Be my first.
So you said it. Xbox said platinum.
Yeah. And I'm.
Do you have a platinum trophy yet?
I don't have a platinum trophy yet.
Yeah. Do you have 100% in what the hell do they call them, achievements? Do you have any of those
on Xbox? I have a few, not too many. I've got Resident Evil 5. I got a 1,000 on.
That's kind of a tough one, isn't it?
There are a couple of harder ones. I don't have the actual all the points because we don't.
So you're lying. You're lying in our first podcast.
Okay, I have 1,000. I have 1,000 points.
And you're lying to me. I thought we were better friends.
On RE5, but they added like the mercenary mode or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
The online mode.
Okay, so it's like the downloadable content.
I don't play that shit.
Achievements.
I don't play.
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to play that. But you can still get the
achievements are there.
100% achievement
essentially
without doing the down. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have the icon that says I got all the achievements because when they do the update. They put all those in there.
Oh, so they made that count.
Yeah.
See, they don't do that on PS3.
Yeah.
If I have Resident Evil 5 and I got the gold edition. I wish you pick it up because I play it with you Fuck, I'll buy you a copy.
I'd buy.
I'll buy you a copy.
He
just
just said
to play
it.
it.
I've asked him to buy him a copy.
I will.
play through it.
I'll get the $20 out, and I will buy you a copy to play that game with.
Cool. I will play through.
But
it.
anyway,
Yeah.
I know you don't have to get with the trophies show up if you don't have them with plus signs. You don't need those to get the platinum.
Right.
In PS3, if you just got all the regular ones.
Well, those would have
platinum
plus signs
would pop.
on the PS3. They don't on Xbox.
Okay, and
So
they make them integral.
So
to
if you look
getting
at my
that full
score,
one.
you'll
That's
see
bullshit.
I've got all the normal game trophies for RE5, but I
Yeah.
don't have from a couple of the download packs.
Reason 99 why I don't like
Yeah.
thing. But I got they incorporated achievements and Sony copied them with trophies. So
there's a couple that I'm like really, really close. Like Lost Odyssey, I got really close on, but like there's a couple of items that I missed somewhere that I don't know where.
okay, so tell me about 13.2. You like the gotta get them all thing with the monsters?
There isn't a trophy for getting all the monsters.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Well, then again, I mean, that would be a lot, 'cause-
there's a quest for the bestiary, and that's the
Filling
hard,
out the bestiary,
and
yeah.
that is like every creature, rare,
unique ones
all
and-
of them,
and stuff like
so
that,
So
yeah.
that's the really hard.
Now,
one.
do you just unlock it just by fighting them, or do you
Yeah,
have to
well,
like
you have to do like
use like Libra or something?
I think you
like
might have
that
to use Libra
to get the full.
I gotta look up
Basically,
the
you
fine
gotta fight them
points.
like 4 or 5 times.
Sometimes, yeah.
to
to get
fill
the
up
full
bestiary, yeah.
the full thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of these creatures are rare and they don't come out very often.
Yeah.
So
So what did you end up using as your third party member?
I've got Lightning now.
Yeah, but when you went, you can't get her until you finish the game, right?
No, you can get her once you get the download for the Colosseum and you beat her and get her crystal.
Okay, but to beat her, you'd have to be a pretty high level.
You got to be pretty high level to get a 5-star rating and get her crystal.
So basically, you almost have to be at the
You
end
almost
get
have to
her.
be at the end of the game to get Lightning. I was about
So I was right.
80% through the campaign.
What about the other
before I
dude in
got-
that downloadable shit?
I think you can capture him too, but I haven't captured him.
Who is he?
He's her ranking officer
Lightning has a boss?
from
Lightning
the
is the boss, baby.
Well,
she don't need no boss.
from when she was in.
That's the other reason I hate that game. Lightning should have been your character. They built the whole entire marketing thing around Lightning.
I won't
and
deny-
her awesome armor.
I
and her
won't deny
skirt,
that I
and the
certainly
feathers and
missed
shit.
not playing as Lightning in
And-
this game.
And then I got to play as her anorexic 12-year-old sister. And,
She's got
and
a
this other
surprisingly
little boy.
big bust, I'll have to say.
Whatever, man. She's 12. You're 37. She's 12.
She's 18.
She's not.
She is.
Okay, just because they say she's 18 and she looks 12. And I'm being generous. She looks 12.
I don't know how old.
And how old's the guy? Like, who's
Well,
the...
okay, here's the part that I always laugh at. You look at her standing next to Snow, and he looks like
Yeah.
he's 35.
He looks like me. Like, he's like 35.
He looks like the
and
biggest
he's just the
pedophile
biggest
on the
pedophile
planet.
going.
I just can't stand
Snow,
looking at the...
like,
oh,
the
man.
cast for Final Fantasy 13 was awful. Just awful.
Well, here's...
Snow is the stupidest character.
When I got to the end game, I'm using the 3 girls. Because they are the best characters, the best looking
Who's that?
characters.
Vanille,
Vanille, Fang,
Fang,
and Lightning. And a lot of people will say that Vanille is
So,
annoying.
but a lot of-
and
yeah,
she
I
can
think
be.
she is. I thought she sucked.
She can be, but I'll take her over. Honestly,
thought Saz was okay.
I-
But the thing is, I played 13. I played all the way to where they supposedly say the game gets good.
no.
On what's it, Grand Pulse?
No.
And I thought it was crap, and I just turned off. 35. What was it? Like I had been playing for almost 32 hours, and I just quit. It's the only Final Fantasy game I've never finished.
Well, I mean, I started X2. I don't know if I'm going to
Finish
finish
that.
it. Yeah.
I liked X2. I thought because
It's the story that's...
whatever, it's all frill.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say the story is great or
Yeah.
anything. It's all fan service, but the characters were strong. The way they and the way they mesh. I'd much rather have 3 characters as opposed to 2 characters and an unlockable monster. I hate that.
Yeah.
If I wanted to play Pokemon, I'd play Pokemon. I don't want to raise monsters and stuff. If it was an option, I'd be more cool with it and
Yeah.
want to do it. But to me, it just seems like a burden. Like if I had the option to just have Lightning right away and unlock her, I would do that and never get another monster.
I think I would probably do the same thing, and I thought a lot of people would do the same thing, but...
But well, you have to be high level to get her. But anyway,
you can fight her at a lower level, and I did actually
get
beat
smoked.
her at a lower
Oh,
level.
really?
But I didn't get her crystal, because there are
you get a
things...
5-star.
Well,
Or it's just a rare drop. 5-star makes it easier.
It's a rare drop. 5-star makes it easier, and also using your animal, like they have like powered up like limit breaks or whatever, like that kind of
Getting
thing.
hot, man. Shirt's coming off.
Ooh,
Not like naked shirt. Going down to the t-shirt. T-shirt time.
that'll be an edit. We'll edit that one out.
T-shirt time.
The creatures have like a limit break, And if you use those,
I've seen that. I played the demo.
Yeah, and if you use those on enemies, it raises the drop rate for crystals and stuff like that. Plus, there are other abilities that you can get that increase your chances of getting stuff.
Well, let's leave the Final Fantasy alone. That'll be another podcast entirely. Let's get back to the original thing we were talking about, which was story and Mass Effect.
Okay, but unfortunately, neither of us has gotten past the 10-hour mark.
That's hilarious. We're trying to talk about the story, yeah. But, I mean, really, I know all of it. It's the culmination of the entire series, but there will be Mass Effect 4.
I gotta say, I do have a slightly nagging feeling that in the end, I'm gonna think that 2 is the best in the series.
Really? Because a lot of people like 1 better. And if you look at the story of 2, like, don't get me wrong, I love 2. It got 10s. I fully agree with them. I've heard a couple people. The only criticism of it that I can actually see that's valid is that when you look at the story, they don't really do a lot. Like, they do a lot, but the story remains the same. How does Mass Effect 1 end? Reapers are coming.
Yeah.
How does Mass Effect 2 end? Reapers are still coming.
Yeah.
Like, the collectors, there's a lot of shit happens. And the cast to me and the stories, that was the game.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. I think that, they hit their stride as far as, like
that whole cast.
The cast.
Even Jacob, like, who was probably my least favorite. And I still liked him. Yeah. Like, I liked his story. Yeah. I thought it was cool. Like, his dad, just raped his entire crew and drugged him up.
Yeah.
It's just it's a gritty story.
I forgot about that.
It's realistic, and that's, makes you feel like, and you want to kill this guy at the end.
Yeah.
You want to.
Well, I mean, I had a friend talk to me about this too, and I would agree that I think that the ending of Mass Effect 2, some people really like it. I mean,
I loved it.
I thought the giant Terminator boss.
Oh, the boss was terrible.
That was.
And that's another thing. People don't think bosses are relevant anymore. I love bosses. Yeah. And a good boss makes a game.
Yep.
Makes a game. But it can also kill a game. And to me, the boss was terrible. Like, it's this human Reaper that's retarded. Like, they're filling it up. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, they need to do something else. Like, why don't they just have some, you fight an elevated form of the Harbinger or something like that?
Well, yeah.
Like, that would have made more sense.
I would rather have
guarding
Mecha Godzilla.
Well, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like,
or something like that, yeah.
Something that looked like a Reaper.
Yeah.
I think that's what the big thing was. I think you had this big lead up. You had the collectors. You had some pretty cool enemy types.
Oh, yeah.
But then you got this thing that looks like a Terminator.
It doesn't really do anything. It just sort of shoots mouth lasers and moves its arms and stuff, and you got to shoot the 4 canisters. But in terms of the ending, obviously I wanted to save especially I loved the ending the first time. Mm-hmm. But my second ending on Insanity, I did the Vanguard run because something about the game is on Insanity, it just played perfectly to me. And I never felt like it was unfair. Well, it was really difficult in a collector's ship because those husks, there's just so many of them on Insanity and your shields go down so quick.
Right.
But I never felt the game was cheap. When I died, it was my fault, I think. And just going through the collector base or the... What is that? The collector home ship when you go through the Omega 4 relay?
Yeah.
Like the big ship in the suicide mission. And, whoever you got calling through the pipes. And you got to go through these guys on Sandy. And they mow down your teammates. They mow down you. And you got to do it, like, within a time. Man, it was intense. I remember my girlfriend, I don't know, she's probably going to get mad at me. She smoked some weed. And I was kind of happy because I really, really wanted to finish this game that night.
So put her out.
Yeah, no, but she likes, whatever. She puffs some trees and, she's getting all into it. I sat there for 2.5 hours and I died multiple times.
Yeah. Like
to get through the end on Insanity. But when I did it, and obviously I saved everybody because that's the only way, anything less
and
uncivilized. But, when I finished, and the way the music, the Mass Effect theme, and you're just looking at each one of your squad mates that survived, and you got Grunt loading his gun, and he just gives you that side look, like you just did something awesome.
Yeah.
And the build up, and then the Mass Effect theme kicks in.
Well, getting all of the vital achievements trophies on my first playthrough felt pretty good.
Yeah.
I saved everybody, made all the right decisions. It didn't seem like hard decisions to me. I've heard about
but the weight of them aren't till this game.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really...
No, but I mean, like, the decisions to, like, who to send into the pipes.
You didn't even think about it?
I was like, it's a no-brainer on who to send.
Well, yeah.
That's how I felt. And players that had a harder time with that
Some people...
You didn't know your team well enough.
Well, that, or they just didn't do the loyalty missions, because the loyalty missions had a huge... I think, honestly, some people in the... You know, when you send someone back...
Or you can piss somebody off, too, right?
Well, yeah, if you fuck it up, or, you know, you lose their loyalty and stuff like that. But I think the one guy that dies more often when I read through it was the person that you send back with the prisoners.
Oh, okay.
You have to send somebody back at the beginning, and I think the best choice was Morden. I don't know why. You know, when I think about it, I don't know why. I know he was tough. Like, a lot of people look at him, he's a funny-looking reptile dude, but he was the Solarian Special Ops.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So he's really capable.
I found him quite powerful in the game.
I really liked him, but I didn't use him that much.
I tried to mix it up a bit because I felt like
especially on the Insanity, like you needed Miranda's squad mate bonuses.
Oh, okay.
You needed them.
Yeah, I used her a lot. Not just because she's sexy, but she was a good team member.
That was funny. Yeah. But I a lot of the decisions and stuff, I'm wondering how they happen and they play out in Mass Effect 3. I've heard nothing but good things. This game's got a ton of 10s.
Yep.
I'm really disappointed with, I hate the internet sometimes. Like, fanboys go on there on Metacritic. Not like that shit matters, but like they got nothing better to do with their lives but log on and give the game low scores. They do that for shooters too. Like, what is wrong with these people?
Trolls, we have no use for you trolls.
Whatever. I don't know. They make me laugh, but everyone... It's funny, the internet, everyone behind a keyboard is 6'4", 230 pounds jacked. They all played college sports, and they all have, they date supermodels. And that's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do because there's no accountability. Yeah, I actually do.
For the record, his girlfriend looks like a Charlie's Angel, so we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, she's pretty hot. But the story, I don't know. All right. Wow, we're racking up the time.
Yeah.
51 minutes. I thought we were going to be done at 30.
Yeah.
Not bad. I don't know. We took this in some crazy directions. I think we just, a bit being a culmination of a lot of things that we've been talking about and wanting to do it for so long, we just have a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah. So
I just don't stop talking anyway.
Bear with us, listeners, because the format will get refined as we move
they're probably
along.
listening to this right now and they're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Like, they're like, he's talking Mass Effect 3 stories,
rambling,
Jack guys on the internet.
We're gonna call this episode Ramble.
Yeah, this is rambling.
Yeah.
But I don't know, to wrap it up, in terms of the Mass Effect discussion, I will, next time we have one of these, I'll probably be close to done. Like, I'm gonna set aside, work isn't too bad right now, so I'll go ahead and dig huge into the story and go from there. I'm anxious to see who you actually use too. Like, I don't even know, and we were talking about this before we started, I don't even know who your permanent squad choices are. I know you're gonna have cameos, and like I love Garrus. Garrus is sick.
I've heard people die.
Yeah?
Yep. Like, maybe.
See, I don't even know. Like, I've blacked myself out.
I don't know
that
who,
much on
but
the
I've
game.
heard major characters die.
I hope they do it awesome if it happens. And I don't, I think that's cool. Yep. Like, I like that shit. Like, they should have that.
I would be sad, but I would also be satisfied if Shepard dies at the end.
He won't die. They're making Mass Effect 4, man. It's happening.
I know
they've already left the door open.
Well, I know that they, that there's going to be more Mass Effect universe games. I know that they've said this is the Shepard story, so
I don't know.
There's no saying
he isn't going to die. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm just throwing that out
there. They could leave
it
a cliffhanger, but I've heard, I follow a few guys on Twitter, in the game industry, whatever, and they're not spoiling or anything, but some people are ragging on the ending. I don't really know. There wasn't any spoilers, but most of the guys that echoed or even talked about it were satisfied with the ending. But I think it's going to be slightly left to your imagination, if that. And I don't even know how, but I don't know whether you don't actually permanently defeat the Reapers. I don't know.
I'm also thinking too, like, we should probably be expecting DLC down the road. That's gonna
for sure
take place.
Like, even in multiplayer, like if you look at the multiplayer jobs and when you go down them, there's slots for one, probably two more.
Okay.
Of the races there. So maybe there's some races like I'm hoping in this game. I don't even know if you get to do it in Mass Effect 3. I want to be a Batarian.
I was gonna say Batarian.
Batarians are cool, and they get like a lot of shit for who they are, but they're all like bad. Yeah, that's the big debate too. The day one DLC.
No, I'm not talking about the character quest. I'm talking, is there a Prothean unlock for multiplayer?
No.
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 Oh, interesting.
No, because, I don't know. You know, they're not integral in terms of the current thing until now. I mean, obviously the history is all about the Protheans.
Well, yeah, but I would have thought that maybe because you've got a playable Prothean in the game now.
Yeah.
For those of you who bought the collector's edition and got it for free,
yeah,
kudos to you.
We can touch on that real quick. How do you feel about that? Day 1 DLC.
I think Day 1 DLC is despicable. The perfect example I'm going to use is actually a game that's going to have DLC coming for the next 6 months, and that's Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah, see, but to me, I guess the big debate for me is it on the disc?
And it is on the disc.
I know Street Fighter Cross Tekken's is, and Capcom is the worst.
Now here, yeah, and we'll touch on that later, but I mean, like, the DLC for Mass Effect is not on the disc, so I'll give them that much. But still,
supposedly, I don't know. I guess some people, it's still an argument. Like, I don't know.
It was a 600 megabyte download for me on Xbox Live.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, mine was about 5 something. So yeah.
So.
But I mean, it's a Blu-ray. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, it's hard to say, and a lot of people say, you know, defenders of it, like, well, it's not an integral part of the game. See, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it either.
Like, I look at the DLC characters and missions for Mass Effect 2, Kasumi and Zaid. Is that how you say it? Zaid, yeah. Zaid. And...
Zahid? Whatever.
Zaid.
Yeah.
Z-Z-A-E-E-D. Is that what it is?
Something like that, yeah.
But anyway, they're both... I guess you would say they're optional, but the game doesn't seem complete without them. I know you can't have, like, streaming conversations with branching paths and... like, because they were downloadable.
Right.
But, like, to me, the best loyalty mission is probably Kasumi's. Stolen Memories or Lost Memories.
Yep.
I thought that was awesome. You know, and just the... And I hope that her option at the end of her mission plays into Mass Effect 3, because you had the option to delete or allow her to keep her memories.
That's true.
I don't know.
Hard to say. I haven't seen anything from the DLC pop up in the data window.
I know she's in it. Oh yeah, when you make the major decisions. Yeah, I don't know. They may just went ahead and gave her like a default choice, which kind of sucks, but whatever. And even Zaid, like, I know he got a lot of hate, but some of the shit he said was funny, and I liked his voice.
Me too.
Split a Krogan's head off. You know,
I liked him.
He had a sick voice.
Oh yeah, I thought he was a great character, and I used him a bit.
And his backstory was cool. You know what was the mercenary group? The blue, not the Blue Suns, was it?
Yeah, it was Blue. Yeah,
he was the leader of the Blue Suns, and like that's pretty cool. Like, you got to make that choice, and his loyalty mission, you could actually fail it.
Yep.
And even you could complete the mission, but not get his loyalty.
I'm trying to remember how that played out for me.
At the beginning,
that a guy gets away or something.
Yeah, like the warehouse, he sets it on fire. You can choose to, I don't know, either save the prisoners or go directly after the guy like Zaid wants.
Right.
You can still get his loyalty by getting the prisoners, by doing something, I don't know, towards the end.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still got his loyalty, but I'm pretty sure I went for the prisoners because I was playing Paragon.
I played the Paragon and whatever the other one is.
Anyway,
Mass Effect 3, I guess next time up, we'll
give
have
you
more
our
to talk
impressions
about.
on the full story on the
and
next...
multiplayer, you love it, eh? Do you think it's a
I think
good
it's a lot
addition?
of fun. It's a good time
yeah.
sink.
I like it. Like, a lot of people were saying, you know, it's going to take away, and I might have felt like that at first, like it didn't need it, but the demo, I played the shit out of multiplayer demo.
Well, I will say this. I don't know if I've played every map yet. I hope I haven't.
I have. Well, you get a trophy for finishing every map. I think there's like 6.
Okay.
More will come.
Yeah.
You know, more will come.
Oh, of course. And
I hope they don't charge for those because they're so small. And in
map
a horde
packs
mode,
are never free.
Yeah, but it's different though. Like Uncharted map packs, you know, they hold more players. They're more sprawling, with just more to do.
They won't be free.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. I guess not. But I've already actually 20'd and promoted my first character. You get a trophy for that too.
I'm at 18 for my infiltrator. So
yeah, and I've been lucky. I've unlocked a few of the races because I don't want to just be a human all the time. No. Being a human's boring.
Yeah. And this conversation's getting boring, right, kids?
No, it's not.
No.
Never boring. What are you talking about? Yeah, so we'll wrap up the Mass Effect 3 for now. We'll bring it... Well, I think we'll talk about the story next time we get together and see how far we're along or if we finished it and see if our hopes and dreams were fulfilled.
Yes. Spoiler warning next episode, kids.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll wrap this up relatively quick. What are you playing right now other than Mass Effect? What are you up to?
I got Reckoning on the go.
Yeah.
That's my sort of... I was actually glad that I have that as a backup when I was having problems importing my character for ME3.
Yeah. See, you play a lot of games, man. Like and this is where we're different too. Like you start these games, and like Skyrim, you haven't finished.
Well, Skyrim, I had a looser attitude towards, and I got to be honest with you, I like Reckoning a lot better than Skyrim.
Yeah, see, and we'll have to have another one about this because I hated on Skyrim. I don't like Bethesda games as a habit. Like I don't like Fallout.
And then you platinumed it.
I did. I platinumed Skyrim. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but I'll keep that short. What else are you doing? Anything else? I
downloaded Bastion over the holidays and had barely started that.
That game has to come to PSN. ASAP. I want to play it.
But yeah, I mean, I've got that. Like, I did finish Final Fantasy 13 too, almost. I mean, I beat the story. So I mean, there's been a lot of classics coming out in the last.
Oh, there's a lot of games. Like it's hard to keep up. It's definitely one of the best times for games that I can remember.
Honestly, at this point, I'm gonna wait for the Game of the Year edition for Uncharted 3.
Yeah?
Yep.
Uncharted 3...
I have too much to play.
Uncharted 2 is better. 3... The multiplayer in 3 is really good. Like, it's some of the best I've played, like the way the maps transform, but... I don't know. It's another day topic, too.
My closing comment will be my most anticipated game at this point is Resident Evil 6.
Of the year. That's yours, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to add one, too. Maybe we should end every episode. Well...
With something.
Well, what we're doing and what we're playing, obviously, that'll be one. But why don't you tell the listeners where they can get at you? Like
all right.
Twitter, Facebook, whatever.
Well, can we just post some links under the...
Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, I'm going to have it up on my website.
I mean, you can follow me on Twitter. It's EYE, capital B, 0, capital T.
This isn't
it's
spelling
iRobot, kids.
iRobot. Is it text sensitive? I don't know.
Well, the thing is
there underscore?
I used a 0 for the O.
Okay.
It's a little tricky. We'll put some links underneath the link.
iRobot. Me? What am I playing right now? Well, Mass Effect 3. I just bought Journey. Got my PlayStation Plus thing. That's a game that I know it's not overly long, but I think it was intended to be finished in one sitting. It was about two and a half hours.
I'm actually very excited to play that.
I'm a huge that game company. Those games just, they do it for me, man. Like Flower was incredible to me.
Well, like I was
gorgeous and peaceful, but of course me, like eventually when it came, Flower is probably the most peaceful game, most relaxing game you can ever play. I got pissed at it. I got pissed at it one time. You got to get these special flower petals to unlock all the trophies and shit. It shouldn't even be a game that you play for trophies, but I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And you're going along this highway where it speeds you along, and you got to take this detour to get one. And I'm like, oh, sorry, this is my phone. And like I'm jamming. Well, because it's like the only game I've ever found that actually I like using these 6-axis. Okay. I hate motion controls. I hate moving that stuff. I don't want to talk to my screen. I don't want to do none of that crap. I like a controller. That's the way I like to play. Yeah. But Flower worked. It worked for me. I'm like, I don't move when I game. I stand. Like I'm not one of the guys that I'm doing a visual thing. You guys can't see it, but I don't twist my body and stick my tongue out. I just stand there.
Anybody that's had parents that played Atari will know the Frogger jump.
Yeah, they're leafy with their body. Yeah, I'm trying to get off this fucking freeway to get this last thing. I tried it 3 times. I had a roommate back then. He's like, only you could get mad at this game. Like only you. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's me. But anyway, Journey is something. I think it looks incredible. The music is awesome.
I'm actually a little jealous that because I don't have the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, but you got me on account. You can get it.
I'm actually planning on buying it full out.
Really?
Just so you know, kids, I'm gonna buy it and not steal it.
You're not stealing. We're allowed to share one.
Yeah.
Stealing was when you had 5 guys. And
actually, I missed those days. I noticed you downloaded the Catherine demo.
I haven't got a chance. PlayStation Plus had the 60-minute trial. I did play the demo. I wasn't sold on it, but all the guys, it was critically acclaimed. It had really positive things. Some people said it was their game of the year, like a guy I follow who I really like at IGN, Colin Moriarty. He said it was like his game of the year. But he wanted to vote for something that had more chance of winning.
Right.
But Catherine was like one of his that and Resistance. But so yeah, I haven't played that. I don't know. It's a little weird.
I want to give it a try.
I'll try it. I don't know. I don't think I'll like it.
But I couldn't play
aspects. Why?
I couldn't play the 60-minute trial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
About that.
I guess my most anticipated of the year. Well, it was Mass Effect 3, but that's out now, so I can't cheat. I gotta give you another.
Because I kind of was already, I was anticipating it, but I was like, you know what? I kind of already know what to expect.
And it was originally intended to be in 2011 or
it was,
right?
yeah.
So I'm glad they pushed it back.
Me too.
There was too many games in the end of the year, and now we're playing it. But
A lot of good stuff
God,
coming.
what? I don't know.
Tomb Raider
looks, and I've never been a Tomb Raider guy. Yeah. Tomb Raider looks awesome. Yeah. Like the way I like the realistic approach. Like, they don't have this silicone lip, big titted, fat ass girl. Like, it's not even realistic. Yeah. She doesn't look good.
Well, she looked good in the last one. Was it Underworld?
I don't know. Man.
But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say, I don't know, at this point, I don't think The Last of Us, not The Last of Us. What's it called? The Last Guardian. I honestly don't think that's coming out. If it comes out, that'll be what I'm looking for, because I love them.
That's really sad, actually. That
they're fucked, and it touches on the point where it's Japanese business mentality. They don't, no one. These guys are such high up. They have such a hierarchy in their culture that no one will just tell this guy, you need to hurry up. I think that's what Sony did, and I think that's why he quit. Definitely. Well, the game's been developed for 6 years. 6 years. Wow. And they got nothing. It's a shame. The game looked awesome, but I don't think it's ever going to come out. No. The Last of Us, we haven't seen any gameplay. That's a Naughty Dog PlayStation 3 exclusive. But I guess I'll go... Oh, shit, I don't know. Yeah, Tomb Raider. I don't know. I guess I'll go with Tomb Raider. Yeah, I don't know.
There's nothing else. What?
My mind's blank for the first time in this entire podcast. But what's coming out this year? I can't even think about
March, and honestly, I think there's going to be some big announcements coming. There's stuff at GDC that nobody can talk about yet because of embargoes. So I'm looking forward to some of those announcements. Yeah. But yeah, as of right now, Resident Evil 6.
I don't know. Resident Evil 5. They need to do something else. Well, you know what? Assassin's Creed 3 looks okay. The gameplay's tired though, so I don't care where they take the game, unless they redo the gameplay and the way it incorporates it. The game just won't appeal. Like I'm in Revelations right now, and it seems okay. I'll finish it, but whatever. And as far as where you guys can follow me, I'm on Twitter, Jason Rose A. Jason JSON Rose like the flower. That's my last name, and A because I'm Canadian. I don't have Facebook. Deleted that. I'm on my IGN under but it's TEH Canadian, like the Canadian, Canadian. That's me, and I'll post a lot of that stuff. I'm working on my website right now. It's jasonrose.ca, and I'll have all sorts of good stuff up there. But until then, we'd love to hear from you guys. Give us some feedback, anything at all. Whether we suck, whether we're great, whether you talk too much, whether you swear too much. I don't know.
Yep.
Whatever. Just let us know. This has been a long time coming, and I'm glad we got the first one out of the way. High five, buddy. Bang.
All right.
And we'll have a title, like a real title for you guys next time. All right. I don't know. I got nothing.
All right. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Peace.
See you next time.